Nice to be back in the old shop here. You know, we've been working hard behind the scenes, but it's time to get to business. We pulled the motor out of this 800 Axys. We're putting a TKI belt drive on it so we can play with our gearing, changing a bunch of bearings. We're gonna go in. I did notice on my suspension that some of the idler wheel bearings are done. I only have 600 miles on it, but you know, you get a lot of snow and ice in there, builds up around those bearings, freezes, and you start turning the track, and then the seals go and the bearings are gone. So I'm gonna pull the rear suspension out, I'm gonna pull the axle out, of course the track's gonna come out. We're gonna show you how to do it, and in another video we're gonna get into replacing the 7-tooth sprockets with 8-tooth. We're gonna raise them up a size, better approach angle, a little less rolling resistance maybe, and a little bit higher speed. Maybe that might work to help us out with our detonation issue. Don't know, but we're trying a whole bunch of things. But this is kind of like a maintenance item that you want to do, depending on how you ride. I'm pretty hard on it, banging those back wheels on the rocks all the time, pounding the suspension pretty hard in the backcountry, off stumps and whatnot. So sometimes you need a little bit of maintenance, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to get into that. We're going to show you how to pop this rear suspension out, the track, and the axle. Bam, do it. One thing you want to do with your cross shafts here is you want to work them out a little bit on each side, depending on whether or not they've been out recently. Sometimes they sort of get seized in there a little bit, and if you zip one of them right out, you go to the other one, and all you're going to do is spin the shaft. And then it's going to be a real pain in the butt. You got to try to align things again. With the older sleds, you want to make sure you do this. Wrap each side a little bit until you get it out. I'm going to actually lift this sled up a little bit using my helper hands. Right there. It's as high as I need to go. Take up the rear first. A little bit. Is that bolt spinning? Bam. There's that. Nothing worse than leaking air, man. I hate that. I'm holding it. Bam. I think we need a new one of those. Just want to lift this up enough so you can clear those upper idlers. You can see, oopsie, don't want to lose those. Look at that. That bearing is toast. You can hear it even. 6205LU is what that is. So we're gonna get some new ones. Pop those off. Both of them are like that. Ooh, this one's bad. This one's almost seized. Yeah, it's not good. Can I see this one any better? This seal's all punched in. So you can tell it got some ice in behind there. Well, this will come along a lot easier if you remove the tension off these rear wheels here. Usually you can do it by hand once you get them loose. It's a 16 mil. I don't understand. I always say this. I never understand the sizing on Polaris machines. They use 9/16, 15, 16 mil, some 17 mils. It's just wild. It's just wild, lads. See, I'm just turning these by hand. I'm gonna be putting some Next-Tech carbon fiber rails on. Just do one of those. Yeah. Sometimes I take them out the back, sometimes they come out the front. Nice. Suspension is so light. Check out the exhaust marks from that. Just checking these out. Paint's coming off around these welds. Okay though. My Elka suspension. Nice. Okay. There we go. T40. T40, you've got 6 Torx bolts around here. I didn't have to heat them up to get them off. These actually just came. Got most of them done already. A lot of guys are gonna have to do this because you got saddled with those nasty tracks that just sort of blow apart. Keeley has them on his SKS. That track didn't last a season. So you're gonna have to replace your tracks. I know a lot of guys are doing it right now, which is too bad. But we're gonna get this. I'm gonna get that axle out. I've never taken one of these out of here, the Polaris. I just sort of usually bunch the track up around the top because you got to get it off the extroverts. And you just, there we go. There's a little flange on it. Oh, there it is. Okay, look at, let's see, can I pull that any further? Might have to just turn her a wee bit. There we go. So there. You just need to fiddle around with it and find the magic place. That looks pretty good. Still might replace it. Now the track's good to go. So my track held up pretty good. I'm pretty hard on it. These ones are good. And you know what? I kind of dig that track as well. I might put a Conquer 280 on it. I'm not quite sure yet. I know they're back ordered, so I'm not quite sure. We'll see. But then we look here. That bearing there is actually pretty good too. I'm not gonna replace that. There's only 600 miles on it, so that one's good, but at least I know. The shaft looks great. The bearing's still good. So that's your inner extrovert driver that Polaris likes to use here. And you've got your two 7-tooth drivers here. Now we're gonna go give Robbie a call at Avid Drivers and we're gonna replace all these. We're gonna put 8-tooth drivers on. And we're gonna swap the bearings out of that. It gets sort of seized in there a little bit. There we go. Oh yeah, check this out. You know, one good rock impact, that toast. That's the end of that. So those are done. I'll replace both of those. And yeah, I can tell these are done too. Pop them all off. Kind of tell everybody this, that it's a good idea to get in here and get to these bolts because you can see that this is only 2 years old. Check it out. You know, it's starting to corrode or oxidize pretty bad. And those aluminum shafts, they start to stiffen up. And then before you know it, it's too late. You can't get her loosened up. Everything is seized. Then you're into big trouble. Yeah, look at that. See that? I only have 600 miles on this. Check that out. Horrible. Remember the order of that. Put that all back. Those bearings are done. Oh yeah, I can feel that. A bearing shouldn't slip real fast. It shouldn't go like that. You shouldn't hear any noise. You shouldn't feel any resistance in there. If you do, you know you got to replace them. They should just be kind of smooth and require a little bit of force to get them out. Just like those cross shafts, holding it on, you want to make sure you get both of them out. And they're not spinning, that's good. Get out of there. Twist that one, there we go. Now's a good time to get in here and also check out your bushings. Whoopsie. Make sure these aren't blowing out. All it takes is a couple good impacts and that's the end of that. All right, so all we need to do is press these out. Very easy. You can actually do this. Here, watch this. You don't even need a press, boys. You don't need a press, for God's sakes. At least I don't think. Let me see if this works. Look at that, here's my floor. One of those. It's working its way out. That's it. Look at that old dirty thing. YouTube. Another one. Rusty old bearings, man. Look at that. 600 miles. Not good. That's okay. We're going to replace them all. Oh, those look like, oh, they are slightly different. All right, no problem. One of each of those. I'll take those home with me. We're going to order up the drivers from Robbie at Avid Drivers. We're going to press those on and order new bearings. Watch the next video. We're going to throw everything back together and put it back in here. And the TKI belt drive, the engine's going back in. The Boondocker Sidekick X turbo kit's going in. Going off to Jaws, going to tune it. It's going to be awesome. Thanks for watching as usual. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. And thanks for coming back. And make sure you check out www.powermods.com, our new e-com website. Thanks for watching. Yeah, you can get all these things from us.